Imagine being locked away in a foreign prison, sentenced to 14 years of hard labor with little hope of ever seeing home again. That was the harsh reality for American teacher Marc Fogel. But then, in a stunning twist, he was suddenly released, welcomed back to the White House, draped in an American flag. The real question is, what happened behind the scenes? What did the U.S. exchange for his freedom? And could this be a sign of something much bigger, perhaps even the end of the war in Ukraine? Stay with me, because this story is more than just one man's return. It's a political chess move that could change the world. For over 3 years, Marc Fogel sat behind Russian bars. A history teacher, not a criminal, yet convicted of large-scale drug smuggling for carrying 17 grams of cannabis, something he claimed was for severe spinal pain. The sentence? 14 years in a Russian labor camp. His family feared he might not survive. Many believed he had been forgotten. While other Americans, like WNBA star Brittany Griner, were traded back in high-profile prisoner swaps, Fogel was left behind. His family called it a death sentence. The U.S. government pleaded for his release on humanitarian grounds, but nothing happened until now. Suddenly, Marc Fogel was free. A deal was struck. He arrived at the White House, where former President Donald Trump greeted him personally, calling it an honor to have played a role in his release. Fogel, draped in the American flag, was visibly emotional, struggling to find words. His family, overwhelmed with relief, called this the darkest chapter of their lives finally coming to an end. But how did this happen? What was the exchange? And why now? The U.S. government has been tight-lipped about what exactly was traded for Fogel's freedom. Unlike past prisoner swaps where details were immediately revealed, this time, the Kremlin refused to disclose the identity of the Russian national released in exchange. Was it a high-profile Russian prisoner, a political deal, or something even more strategic? Dmitry Peskov, the Kremlin spokesperson, confirmed that a Russian citizen was also freed and would soon return home. Some speculated it could be Alexander Vinnik, a Russian cybercriminal held in the U.S. for money laundering. But when asked, Peskov refused to confirm, only saying the name would be revealed later. One thing is clear, this exchange wasn't just about one man. Trump himself hinted at something much larger, telling Fogel, "You could be a big part of it. It could be an important part of getting the war over with Ukraine." Could this prisoner swap be a sign of Russia and the U.S. working towards ending the war? Even more surprising, Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman played a role in securing Fogel's release. Why would a Middle Eastern leader be involved in a U.S.-Russia prisoner swap? Could this be part of a broader geopolitical strategy involving Ukraine, NATO, and even Russia's allies? For Fogel's family, none of these political games mattered in that moment. His mother had previously met with Trump, demanding action. His sister described the pain of waiting, knowing he was suffering in a Russian prison. And on that cold Tuesday night, when Fogel stepped back onto U.S. soil, it was more than just a victory, it was a miracle. His family's message was simple. Today we begin to heal. But as one chapter closes, another question looms. What did the U.S. really give up for this deal? And is this just the beginning of a bigger negotiation between world powers? One thing is for sure, Marc Fogel is free. But the story behind his freedom? That's a mystery still unfolding.